We are scared. They already started to rape our women. There was an information from people who I personally know that 17-year-old girl, it's happened to her and then they killed her. So we are terrified and scared, but we are not gonna give up.
Ебать, видели?
Теперь пошли танки.
Shalom, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahushai, call Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me his truth, and much respect to the Akim Athalab and his work, and also to the believers scattered across the four corners of the earth, the hopefully elect at the USA. Shalom. So yeah, you see what time it is. All right, these are precursors to what's going to come to Babylon the Great America. And as this article says, it did not take long. All right, they have already started to rape our women. Okay, and was a 17-year-old little chick, young woman who was raped. There's no telling how they raped her and what they did to her. And then after that, they killed her. And this is small. This is small shit compared to what the Lord is going to bring to Babylon the Great, which produces the most proudest women on this planet. All right, therefore, bringing forth the most crucial judgments to balance that out. So what we're about to see with troops invading this place and these cities being cast down, as the scriptures say, is going to be nasty. It's going to be extremely nasty to see the judgments that Yahweh Bashmal Shah is going to bring to the women alone within this place. This is why the brothers, the Lord constantly puts the spirit on brothers to push out videos pertaining to women, stand in order, being obedient. That's for a reason, to keep you in line. Because what you're about to see, you women in particular, what you're about to see to other women in this place, man, what the Lord's going to do to them, you're going to be happy that you submitted yourself and came into obedience to whatever authority that you were under. All right, that you came into the obedience of the truth and you submitted yourself, man, because during that time, the only thing that's going to be sought for is mercy after seeing what the Lord's going to do to women in that day. All right, there's going to be extreme tortures, rapings, okay, sufferings, like unimaginable sufferings for women. You see? Let's go to the book of 2 Edwards 16. And we start at verse 22. For men of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. Yeah, you got a big famine that's coming. Right? And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung. And there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted. Okay, the earth will be wasted due to war. All right? It says, and the cities shall be cast down. It's like you see over there in Ukraine, that city is cast down where that country is cast down. And that's going to be the same thing within Babylon. All right? Now, when you scroll on down to verse 33, it says, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. All right? The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Because in the wars, there's going to be a draft. Because in the wars shall the bridegrooms be destroyed, and the husband shall perish of famine. All right, so these are the things that's coming. And the women are going to be left there desolate. As you get in the book of Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, I think it's in there somewhere. Isaiah 3:25, that men shall fall by the sword, and that mighty in the war. It says, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. All right. She being desolate shall sit upon the ground with no hope. Okay. Now, when you go back into the time of the first temple, when the Babylonians sacked the southern tribe, all right, what did they do? Lamentations 5, all right, and we'll start at verse 9. It says, we got our bread with the peril of our lives because of the sword and the wood. And so during the time of the siege, all right, you had, Jake looking for bread, no word about their life. He says, because of the sword of the wilderness, our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. It says they ravished, this is what these Babylonians did. They ravished the women in Zion and the maids in the cities of Judah. Now let's read in the NLT. It says, our enemies rape the women in Jerusalem and the young girls in all the towns of Judah. All right. So you're going to have little children that's going to be raped as well, man, due to the brutal judgment. And that's pursuant to Ezekiel. Is that Ezekiel, the 9th chapter? Where it says, slay early old. Yep. Ezekiel 9:6. Slay early old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So the Lord is saying, slay the old and the young, both the maids and the little children. And it's going to be brutal. All right. That's why when you go to the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter, okay. Now, during the time of the siege, this is what's going to be going on. Isaiah 13:16, that children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. All right, you're going to have women with little children, okay, with no husbands, no protection. And they're going to be raided by these troops, and they're going to dash the little children to pieces. They're going to be tortured. They're going to be raped and all of that. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. You see, the wives are going to be ravished. So, knowing all this stuff is coming, what should you be trying to do right now, man? You should be in fear. You should be in fear and terror about what the Lord's going to bring to this place. All right? Because it's the Lord that's going to bring this punishment. Zechariah 14:2, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem, the Israelites, to battle, and the city shall be taken. It's going to be seized. And the houses rifled, and the women ravished, raped. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Okay? And this is going to be for the 2/3 that's going to suffer all these judgments. But for the ones that did repent, the Lord said what? Proverbs 1. Okay? And 33, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. So the ones that did hearken are going to feel safe, man. They're going to be protected. They're going to have a sense of peace. They're going to be quiet from the fear of evil. Okay? They're going to be untroubled. Matter of fact, let's read it to the right. It says, but all who listen to me through his men will live in peace, untroubled by fear of harm, man. In that day, the only thing that you're going to be thinking about is mercy, man, and protection. That's what Proverbs 29:1 says, he that being often reproved, you often being told about yourself, and you bucking up against authority. It says, he that often being reproved, hardeneth his neck, shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. Okay, and it's going to be for all the rebellious 2/3, and we don't want to be a part of that number, right? So, Isaiah 33:32, Salakia, and 2, and this time says, and a man should be as an hiding place, from the wind, from the destruction, and a covered from the tempest. All right, and it starts with our Lord Yahweh Shai. but he's going to give that power to his men. It says, and they're covered from the tempest as rivers of water in a dry place. It says, and that's the shadow of a great rock in a river land. All right. So the ones that the Lord has ordained to be at peace, to be protected, are going to be like a sanctuary. All right. Isaiah 13 in verse 12, I would make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir, man. Okay. In that day, a man of the Lord will be extremely precious. So for you women out there, man, who really don't understand the fear of the Lord, eventually you will understand it, just due to the sights that you're going to see. And it's not going to be anything nice. So with that, Lord willing, you edify until next time I say, Shalom.